I just don't think JinZhao and Lord Chen was a really splendid match. Do I think that Lord Chen was a really amazing written male lead? Absolutely. Do I feel like him and JinZhao had perfect chemistry? Absolutely. With that being said, I think that the writers missed the point. I think that they missed the plot. I think they missed an opportunity for the audience to get a lead in as to when the romance started between the two. Can y'all name me an episode where they fell in love? Don't worry, I'll wait. I honestly missed that whole thing. It's kind of like they went through this process of getting to know each other within the family, and then boom, Lord Chen proposes. Like, sir, what? Hold up. What happened? When did the emotions start? I don't mind a slow burn, but there is a formula that writers do have to follow in order for the audience to gain attraction on the progression of the romance. For most of the story, Lord Chen kind of viewed JinZhao as a child, honestly. And even after the death of her mother, where she had a 3-year mourning from age 15 to age 18, we see her coming into her own, but I'm still missing the warmth and the emotional longing for when she fell for him. In all honesty, I felt more attraction to her and Yixin's character. Even back to when she gave Lord Chen the specs or like the gifts that she was sending him, she was pretty cold towards her. He even says like, don't ever bring this to me ever again. I didn't see any emotional warmth. I didn't see any tension between the two or any flirtation going on. The second thing that threw me off was the divorce agreement. Now, I completely understand why Lord Chen initiated the divorce agreement. It was so that JinZhao could feel like she still had freedom and still had a choice when it came to the marriage. But why did it take her having to backfire it and use it against you because you avoided her and completely put her off to the side once you found out that her and your nephew had an initial attraction 3 years prior to y'all even taking each other seriously? It just was completely like unbelievable and unrealistic. Like it just wasn't real enough for me. So by the time they actually get married and they're developing all these feelings, they're being lovey-dovey, yeah, I can begin to see the attraction. I began to see the longing and the romance and stuff like that. But there's just certain things that he did that did not give me husband material. Both of these two as individuals did not really seek out marriage. Lord Chen had already been married before, so he grew indifferent to the idea of marriage. And JinZhao had already seen the mistakes that her mom made in marriage, so there really was no need for them to have marriage. But then we see this one scene where they're out doing archery, and that's where he meets Lan, which was the female lead that his teacher wanted to match him up and pair him up with. And this is again post after he's already made the initial proposal to JinZhao about wanting to marry her, but she denies him. And then not only does she deny him, she denies him multiple times after that. Once we see it at the archery where he claims to love her and he says, I believe you love me too, she still denies the marriage and denies her feelings. So again, where is the attraction? Where is the chemistry? I'm missing it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that there was an episode, I believe it was like episode 26, where JinZhao actually had a conversation with him regarding their marriage and how she felt like he should just stay at the library to study if that's where he wanted to be and not come home so late where she's, you know, missing him and longing for him all the time. He probably mentally wasn't in that place and was trying to adjust to marriage, which brings me to part 3. Lord Chen already being a cabinet official, his position and post required him to be in the politics of how their dynasty was ran. Do y'all also feel like he took his politics and his position a little bit too seriously? Like his position definitely took precedent and priority over their marriage. Which brings me to this point. I don't think that these two were bad as a couple. I just feel like they would have been great business partners. And did they have respect for each other? Absolutely. Did they protect each other? Absolutely. Were they loyal to each other? Absolutely. But were they a splendid couple or a strategic couple? Some couples just look good on paper. And I honestly think that was the match with these two. JinZhao was always a businesswoman, so it makes sense as to her archetype, her strategist archetype, why she would attract a man like Lord Chen. The title is Splendid Match, so we needed a little bit more romance in this one, y'all. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.